Welcome, Cow Horse, Full Contact by Ben Self, with host Chris Dawson and Russell Dilday.
Cow Horse Full Contact is a view into the industry from our eyes, seeing some of the people that we've seen and grown up with, and getting to hear some of the stories we've loved our whole cow horse lives and would like to share with you. And along the way, we might come up with a little bit of information that helps you on your journey in the cow horse.
Well, here we are.
Right here in Chris's hometown.
Home
house. His
right?
home. He's going to feel a lot more comfortable this time, not so on edge.
Yeah.
Nervous fella. He's a nervous fella.
So, Russell, what do you think? This has been, I can't believe the feedback.
Unbelievable. It's been way more than what I thought we were going to get when you called me and said, hey, you want to do a podcast? I'm like, sure, Chris. One-time deal. I don't even know what a podcast is. We'll wander down there and do one of those.
Well, credit where credit's due. This is a brainchild of Ben Self, and he asked me to do it, and I was like, man, I don't know about staring at a microphone by myself, but let me talk to my man Russell, and if he'll do it with me, then yeah, I could get on board, and I think it'd be cool. I think it's a good feature for the NRCHA and the cow horse community on a whole. Obviously, we don't have any liability. NRCHA is not to be held responsible for anything that may or may not happen on this show. We're going to hope that it's a positive experience for everyone. And like I say, hopefully we can just bring together, some different generations, some different people, different disciplines as well, and just try and unite everybody under this cow horse flag.
Hey, and you could basically say this is sponsored by Ben Self.
This is completely sponsored by Ben Self.
Completely.
Yeah.
The equipment.
Self-funded. Self-funded.
He's a self-starter.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, I can't believe how happy people have been to hear the human side of the cow horse. Listening to Ron, how he starts up, listening to Sam with the history, listening to you with just you.
You're
amazing.
You're still my favorite episode, Russell. I think I chuckled. I listened back to it and I chuckled for an hour.
That's not fair to laugh at people that are struggling. But what we do love about the cow horse, and like you said, with the different disciplines, I can't wait to get into more seeing people that have come from the English background, moved into the cow horse, have great equitation and how it helps them in this industry, which isn't something that you and I really started out with huge on the equitation deal, but right. The one person in particular might be Sarah Dawson. Right. Impeccable equitation.
Impeccable.
Bad picker.
Bad picker, yeah. Bad picker.
But going forward, I guess what we're here to explain a little bit on this part of this episode is what we're doing. And that is we want to gather from go find some of the older people that have been around forever and expose some of the things they've done to help the cow horse grow. In the faraway clubs, people that are always there, and just show more of how much impact they've had on growing it, and then also bringing the young people that are coming on, showing how they got through it, so that the even younger people who are just thinking about it see that there's 1,000 different ways to go and do this, and there are 1,000 levels to stay happy with the cow horse, whether it's a non-pro boxing level, if you start a little later in life, or you've gotten to where the fence work's a little bit of a worry now, and you just want to go have fun every weekend, see the kind of people that you like to be around, have a good show, and go home for the week, practice up, go do it again. That level, or if you're trying to go be Corey Cushing's and the top end of what's going on right now, Matt Cook, that there's 1,000 different ways to get there also. If you want to be Sarah Dawson, there's 1,000 ways to get there.
No, absolutely, and I think it's super important, and I want to make sure that we interview people from all those walks of life. It's not necessarily just the guys that are on the cover of the magazine every month. And we sure want to talk to those guys because they're very inspirational, but we want to hear from these guys that are, grinding it out and making a living, raising their family and such, that maybe don't get as much exposure as some of these other guys. And like I say, they've got some great stories to tell too. And I think that it'd be just awesome to share that with the world and let some people hear about them.
Well, and Chris, even if you remember in the Down the Fence movie when they are interviewing Zane Davis, who's extremely comfortable in front of a camera, I might add. He just loves the camera, just lights up for it. He said that one of the great things is, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, that being a trainer is something that has value. It wasn't so much about big wins. It's just that being a good trainer has value. It's something you can be proud of, being a good trainer. And I like exposing that. There's a ton of people that maybe don't hit the road and hit all the big deals, but in their area, they go to their club show, they make nice horses, they help people learn how to ride them, they help people how to get better on those horses, and they place them with the right people, and everyone has a very good time, and maybe don't even go to one or two just a handful of major events, but still a very good living and a good lifestyle.
Exactly. I think that's overlooked a lot. I know it's something that I struggle with. I've got a brother-in-law that's a rescue swimmer for the Coast Guard. He's got a tattoo on his arm that says, "So others may live." Like, that kind of, and what do you do for a living? Train horses.
All kinds of cool stuff. I don't want to go into it right now.
Yeah, my father-in-law jokes around. He says, we should get tattoos that say "so others may ride." Just doesn't quite have the same connotation. And shout out Joe and United States Coast Guard.
Yeah, that's some real stuff.
Stuff.
We would love to also reach out there and a little later interview some of the people that help put those club shows on that people make a living at, from the aspect of this is how you can do it, and this is how you can do a club near you. And it's very overwhelming when you first start putting them shows on. There are a lot of moving parts, but you can start at a pretty basic level, and you'd be amazed how they'll grow. If you just have one every 30 days, people can go to and have the enjoyment of going to it.
Right. Yeah, and I think, I think we'll have Allison on here in a little while and kind of get her perspective on some of that from running NRCHA and all running the office there, her and Kelly, and and moving into more of a public relations scenario.
Yeah.
Now, I think, is what she's doing primarily for them. And but she's I think she put on the Idaho show. She's secretary of the Idaho show this last fall, and it was huge. And so it'd be interesting to see some of the things that she has to allow about that side of the
coin.
That side of
the other
coin.
side of the coin.
Exactly.
So others may ride.
So that others may ride. Yeah.
They also getting to where it's kind of staggering how many young people have listened to the podcast. I'm shocked. And getting to where we would like to show the Facebook side of this industry where you can meet more people that enjoy this lifestyle, this event, and interact with one another. You can go to the Cow Horse Full Contact Facebook and send us questions. We'd love to compile them. We don't mind having them on the past interviews. If when we get enough of them, we'll probably have our past guests back on, ask them some more questions. If there are questions that we can field, we may field them ourselves. But it's just a way to start interacting with the young people out there.
No, absolutely. And yeah, the more you guys can, listeners can like our Facebook page, just the easier it is for us to kind of keep track, see who's listening, and, we can kind of bend towards you guys. And like I say, we can may hit up some one-on-one conversations too. And so feel free to hit us up on the Cow Horse Full Contact Facebook page via private messenger, or likes or comments and shares and all the other things that you do with all the technical talk
that you don't know.
No
clue.
No, I hit that. There's that share button. I can hit that.
Sad thing is I look to you.
Well, that's why we have Ben.
That's
why we have Ben. Ben's not mic'd up today, but we probably need Ben. We'll have to get Ben on the mic, and he can walk everyone through the technical aspect. I don't know how many people, since we've been doing this, how many times I've had to swipe across and find the podcast icon, and people didn't even know it was on their phone, just like I didn't know it was on my phone. It's like, I've already got it on my phone. Well, looky there.
Who put that there?
How we put there? We're on everybody's phone, Russell. How
already?
That's scary. Like, Lord knows who else is on our phones.
There's no escape.
Because we are on everyone's phone. So if you can hear us, we're in your pocket.
You know, we made that big deal with Google where we get the information from them now. Right. We can listen on Siri's. She's always recording.
Always recording.
And now we know what they're saying.
Yeah, if you want to ask us a question, you can probably just speak it into the universe right now, and we might
use it.
Probably get answered tomorrow.
If it's a good question.
So what about it? We're getting ready for the DT hashtags World's Greatest Horseman. And I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I get to ride my wife's horse. Shine smarter. I mean, catch ride in the house.
No pressure there, baby.
Hey, she did tell me this year that if I lose another cow, she'll let me finish.
I missed 2 loops on my wife's horse.
That's a terrible. What about this year? Are you showing your wife's horse this year? Or is this your horse?
Kinda. We partnered up with Jim Gauthier.
Oh, so that's good.
Now good. She's only a quarter owner. That's better. I hate letting her down.
You think you'd be used to it by now?
She should be used to it.
She made this deal when she married you.
I'm struggling. What do you do for somebody that brings you out of the gutters of life?
I struggle with that every day myself.
Yeah, I know. Lady and the Tramp.
Yep.
Dirty Dancing, Patrick Swayze. Baby.
Nobody put baby in the corner.
Nobody. So yeah, we went and partnered up on one, went out there to Corey Cushing's and bought it, and I cannot wait to get there.
Right. No. It's the funnest horse show. Funnest horse show to show out all year, I think. I mean, it's my favorite. It's just such a great group of guys. The situation is great. You get a wonderful crowd to show to. Like I say, you'd have a hard time putting on a better horse show than that World's Greatest Horseman.
It's gotten to where now just getting to the Thursday night prelim finals is a big deal. Oh, the crowd's crazy.
Crazy. Thursday night. I tell people that's the night to go. I mean, really and truly, like it's not as full as the finals. Mm-hmm. You know, you can actually get around there, maybe get something cool to drink at the concession stand and kind of get to watch the show at finals. Wow. If you guys haven't been to the World's Greatest Horseman Finals, DT hashtags World's Greatest Horseman Finals, you're missing out. That's a party.
Oh,
that's a party.
That is some kind of fun. And the thing I love the prelims because there's so many more horses to watch that night. But at the finals, I love the sudden death, the agony of it all.
Right.
Like there's only 10 left.
Only 10 left. And I'm telling you what, I don't want to lead it. I don't ever want to be in the lead until the end. Like, I mean, I wonder if it's ever happened. I'd like to see the stats on that to see how many people have led an event and ended up being the winner. Now, I think maybe Kelby and Phillip, they were back and forth. It was they were Mitch and Hickory Holly time were getting it on.
Yep.
Yeah, DT and hashtags World's Greatest Horseman. DT is Dean Tufton and their great program out there in Arizona, and then hashtags Ventures. And that good young stallion that they're standing.
I love that horse. So I go out there to look at this horse at Corey's. It's at Dean Tufton's. It's kind of a quick trip. I don't like to plan stuff. Stayed an extra day, kind of on accident. And Dean says, hey, come check out this horse I got over here. So I go over there, and I'm not really sure, what to do. He just says, get on him. It's a 2-year-old coming. It's 3. He said he's never seen a cow, but we've messed with him here in the rein-in. Andrea's tried him and ride him around a little bit. So I'm being, cautious. I don't know what they want me to do. So I ride him around like, yeah, pretty cool. He says, no, really go do something. I said, so I do a little more. And he says, no, go do something. Go run and stop and turn around. I'm like, oh, thank God. Take the harness off. Here we go. I mean, and he's at Hickory Holly time, of course. My Lord, this thing stops. I say, step in this spin. I thought, I wonder how fast he can go. I hate taking my...
Pretty fast, I take it.
Wow, he got it on. And then I'm riding him around there, and he's in this little pen, and I thought, I wonder what he would do on the fence work. So I go flying down that fence, and I just kind of trick him into turning into it, and I mean swallows it and goes the other way. I said, what are you doing with this horse? He said, well, Andrea was thinking about him for the rein-in, but he didn't take him, so I don't know what we're going to do. We might rope and this. I'm like, what? He stops. He spins. What? He does circles. I change leads both ways. Big, fast, small, so ready to go. Nice horse.
So you came home with 2 horses.
No, I call him. He's a tease. I call him. I didn't have anybody for him or anything.
Right.
And I still don't, but he was kind of eating on my mind. I call, hey, Dean, so what do you want for that horse? Pretty soon sends me back, oh, yeah, I think we're going to keep him and rope on him. I'm like, oh, what do you have me get on him for? Hey, wouldn't you like this? Nope, can't have it.
Well, we give him a shameless plug here today. Maybe he'll remember you.
I know. Maybe he'll send it to me. Yeah. Anyhow, it was a good time. Those are good horses. I got several coming up. I think that horse is a great cross for what we're going on right now. I've watched Kelby School that horse for the world's greatest, and it looked like he was out there for Kelby. The horse didn't really need anything. Right. He didn't do anything wrong. He looked easy. He's got nice bone. He's a big horse. He does stops, turns, everything. I mean, I think it's a good horse.
Yeah, Sarah had that. They call him Oliver, but had an Oliver baby that she did really good on snaffle bit finals and was maybe a step away from being right there in the top 3 of them. Anyhow, had a little bad luck and fell down, but that was a super good horse, and so anxious to get her back in the show pen this spring.
I know. I was doing the announcing at the fraternity this year, and there are plenty of beautiful ones in there. I mean, I think he's going to be a stud. I mean, we got so many good horses right now. You got some of the blind sides showing up. Those are that horse. Yep. I mean, what are you going to say about that
Aaron
horse?
Tormino had that real good one she showed last year with the white-legged thing. That's a super nice horse, I think.
I don't know. All the metallic cats and the Betty's the cats out of Miss Plain, personal favorite. But such cool horses. You know what, Chris? Just moving to Texas, it feels like it has opened everything up so much. We've got a ton of the big name studs all over the cow horse now, but it's getting so much notice that the horses like Hickory are getting some traction too, because they're right in there.
Right. No, absolutely. And I'm excited to see some of these hashtags babies. You know, that horse, man alive. Talk about get on a hawk.
Yep. Get on it.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think we've got some owners that have bred some mares to him. And so, yeah, super excited to see those babies come up.
We got a little bit of sad news with Hoddish.
Yeah, that was terrible. Away. That was terrible. Yeah, just, hot off the presses, I guess, a couple days ago.
I've had some really nice Hoddishes.
Yeah, I had one I super liked last year. Yeah, made the finals on him, yeah. Brad Lund, he's doing a little roping on him. Got him qualified the other day. Pow. Go ahead, Brad Lundy. Knocking it out in the roping pen. And I think qualified him in the cow horse, too. So he's, done a little stock show running, doing work.
He's ready to go.
In the North Country. Yeah. I guess when you live in northern Kansas, you just soon be at a horse show in the wintertime.
Oh, man. Small pins. Yep. Cover them.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, I got lazy. I stayed home.
Well, you've got a lot going on here, too. You know what, with the coffee and the beans and the soup.
Yeah, we got a little chili on the slow cooker over here. We got Matt Cook staying at the house, so he made us some biscuits and gravy this morning. That guy's an incredible cook, amongst other things. So I can't wait to talk to him in a little while.
You when you live where he lives, you go ahead, stay in the house, and make breakfast.
You're darn right.
Drink a little more coffee, let it thaw out there.
I talked to him the other day. He's like, it's 9 degrees. Oh, that's a good day to stay in the house and listen to a podcast.
Those are tough days to be a cowboy. You still got to go out there and check them.
He said, I thought about trimming my beard. And he said, I went and doctored a cow, and it was 6 degrees, -6 or 6. We'll clarify that with him in a little while.
That's all cold.
All cold. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So the ropes get stiff. You need gloves, but you really can't feel them. You need gloves that are so thick, but you can't feel the rope that well. I mean, there's just a lot of issues with cold cowboying.
I'm thinking that'd be a good place for a dart gun.
It'd probably freeze up.
Probably. He said his LA was slushy by the time he got his cow rope the other day.
I hate that.
So can't wait to hear from him about
Put
that.
In your armpit, warm that medicine up.
We've got some questions here that came in via the Facebook, Russell.
Where were you? Which one are you going on first?
Oh, I think we got a question here from Amy Norbit. How do you get your foot in the door if you're not quite ready to be an assistant trainer, but you still want to work your way up and get your foot in the industry. And I say, keep yourself out of debt so that you can work cheap.
Yeah. You know, I know somebody like that. His name was CJ Chappelle. Calls me up, cold call, says, hey, I want to get in the cow horse. I said, nah, you know, I don't really need any help right now. He says, well, I live up here in Oregon, and I'll just come down and work for free. I can't let you work for free. And he says, well, I'm coming. I'll come down. And you just try me for a few days. And if I'm working for free, I just want to learn. He come down and worked, and, you know, he worked so hard. There's no way I could let him work for free. So I go to paying him, and, of course, he's gone on to be, he married my horseshoer's daughter and took her away. Great. She was working for me. He ruined that.
That's what he does.
I know. Wild man. Not.
I have stories for CJ. I don't know if they're suitable for on air, but we have Ben to edit. But it's cool. You don't have to shut this off.
Hey, take him away from the mic. Get him away from the control board.
But he stands up with me at my wedding. Well, he didn't come to the bachelor party or anything because he was being a responsible, non-partying individual like he is. Very responsible, upstanding citizen that he is, and married and adulting. He's a master of adulting sometimes. Well, he gets to my wedding, and by the time they call us into the room, he's so drunk he can barely stand up. We have to stand him between two other groomsmen, and he is bouncing off of them forward and backward. My mom said the only reason that she didn't cry at my wedding is she was too busy watching CJ to see if he was going to pass out or throw up. And so I can't wait to get him on here and let him defend himself.
I got a little.
This. And I'm not sure. The only reason that I would edit this out of the radio is that his wife might kill us all.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
now we got it all. Hey, anyhow, back to the question.
Sorry.
Which is how to get your foot in the door. First off, work hard.
Work hard.
Hey, that like we were talking earlier, you can't find anybody that wants to work. They're all prima donnas. If you're that one that's not, I found a place for CJ just because he was unbelievable at working hard and pleasant.
Yeah.
Very pleasant.
I just hired a kid. Shoot, he's 19 years old, and we've been getting him after it. And like I say, he showed up here. He works cheap, works hard, head down. You know, like I say, it overcomes a lot.
No demands. CJ came with no demands.
No demands.
He would get on anything, or he would feed, or he wasn't like, hey, I need to ride 3 a day, and I need you to help me, and blah, blah, blah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, especially if you have some skill. Like I know, when I worked for Todd, I remember there was guys that'd come in there, and they'd get to hang out, and they would learn something because they could weld. Or they could tack on shoes. So they might, anything that you have that's a redeeming quality, you share that and you'll get to stick around.
Oh, yeah.
They'll find a place for you. And you do good. I mean, if you do them a good job and they don't, and you don't get anything back for it, that doesn't happen very often.
Not very often.
That doesn't happen very often.
No.
It might take some time. It might take longer than what you think it might take. I feel like, we talked about this a little before, but they all think it's going to happen in 6 months. But like I say, you might put in a couple of years of, crap time, as they call it.
Well, and if you're young and single and you don't really have anything going on anyways, it's cheaper to go work for cheap than go to college and spend a bunch of money learning how to be an alcoholic.
Exactly. They can pay you. They'll pay you to do that.
Yeah, I cut right through that. Saved a fortune. I married my education. That's what I did. Everybody's marrying money. I'm like, hey, I don't want to go to school. Let's marry my education.
Worked good.
It was way cheaper. No college debt.
No college debt.
Yeah. I got out of there scot-free.
Right, yeah.
Got me a little master's for nothing.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to not leave.
Yeah, just don't leave.
Yeah, just show up. I don't know. I've hired several guys like that, though. I mean, shoot, Chance Harmon, he'd come down. He was in Canada. He just showed up at my neighbor's house and lived in his living quarters. And he'd come over and help. And he probably did that for a month. And I was like,
I can't not hire him.
Probably pay you something.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one.
He went on to be the win level one Derby.
Nice.
2 year and a half later.
Yeah.
So, and like I say, now that was a little different situation. He had his own business before he came down here, but he was kind of.
That's a little tougher.
Yeah. Life kind of got in the way. And like I say, needed a little restructuring. And like I say, it was cool to be able to help him do that.
Maybe also another little foot in the doorway would just go get yourself a cheap horse and go get a little bit of help and pound it out at home till you're worth something.
Yep,
There's enough videos out there to get through the basics.
That's it, absolutely. Absolutely. Get over there, get to your horse show, shoot, just sit and watch. You know, listening to at Section K, they interviewed Evan Moffitt, works for Taryn Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Great interview about growing up in Missouri, like gets his foot in the door. If you guys haven't heard it, like I say, go check out Section K. And I don't know, this is probably a no-no to send somebody to another podcast, but that's a great interview with Evan Moffitt over there. And those guys, Cody and K. Rudd and Colburn, them guys are getting it on over there. It's cool. So they've helped us. And so we're trying to kick that back to them.
Yep. There's a ton of ways to do it. And with all of that out there, it just like you said before, the basics that people come without. If you can just get at home and wall around on a horse and get where you can adequately saddle and lead and get on, sometimes you're ahead of it's unbelievable how much that means. You know, even I think about when I was a kid, what I learned from my family, my dad, my uncle, is go forward, go backwards, side pass, turn left and turn right. That's pretty basic. But if you can teach a young horse to do those things, what are you not able to step to from there, Chris?
Right, not much.
I mean, there's not much left.
Yeah, no, that's what I say: steering, stopping, and rating. If those three things don't fix your problem, I don't know what you got going on. But about 90% of things can be fixed with those three words for me. Like I say, I focus on those and go on.
And I think that the dressage, even the basics of that are the basic of everything. So if you can learn to get a young horse to, say, side pass a square each way, that sounds simple. Go out there and get that horse to do that. That is a lot of learning and a lot of feel. And if you get to where you can get that feel on just any kind of horse, you're valuable to.
That's it.
Tons of people.
Yeah. Any industry.
Yeah.
Any discipline. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we beat that one to death. Let's try another one.
Amen.
How about this one from Michelle Baker? How do we make the most of the horse that we have, whether that be a reiner, cutter, or even a rope horse? And I'm guessing that she is, she's asking this as advice to beginner or amateur, and I'm guessing that she's wanting to do the cow horse. We don't necessarily have the ability to ride several horses, so they just have a horse, maybe two. And what are some drills and techniques used to make the most of dry work if you don't have access to cattle at home? How often should the horse and rider practice herd or fence work to stay solid? That's kind of all one long question, but the root of it to me is how do we make the most of the horse that we have, whether it be a reiner, cutter, or even a rope horse? So I feel like you just go out there and start trying to do patterns. That's what I did.
No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, like I say, it doesn't really matter for me. You know, if they steer and they stop, there's not any reason you can't do any of those 4 events with them.
That's what we do. And so start doing your patterns, work on big, fast, and small slows. I mean, that was a huge.
You're loping circles on your cutter anyway.
Yes. Yep. On your rope horse, you're going to struggle a little with that right lead. But go do it. But I'll tell you what a rope horse does do. When you get to the fence work, those horses are so used to tracking a cow at the hip bone. When you go by the cow, they swallow it and try to get back to the hip bone because they don't like being out there.
Yeah.
I've seen huge fence turns on rope horses. That is a real benefit. You need to get rid of the tie down. That's going to be a little bit of a struggle with some of your rope horses, but don't try to be perfect. Just start doing it. Just start doing it on that horse that you have. What that horse will do for you, no matter what it is it will help you start getting a feel for the event. And then don't try to make that horse into Traveling Jones. do as much as you can do, and that horse will help you, and you'll help him a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. I try and really keep the focus. You know, when I'm helping people that are on a horse that does a lot of different things, it's just making sure you do a job. Just keep it job oriented and real utilitarian. Like I say, if you can do that job, if you can sort the pairs on them, you know, you're going to go a long way there. I mean, it's not that much more difficult, you know, like I say, at those levels, at that beginner level, shoot, just do the job.
As far as what to do with the dry work, if you don't have cattle, you know, get a flag. Just start figuring out the move on a flag. That's what you're going to do when you're cutting. If you don't have a flag, get your brother, your sister, your kids to walk for you. When I first started, they didn't even have flags. I walked so many miles for Greg Ward, and I was kind of good at it because I didn't like being still. So I go to the shows, and I'd maybe walk for 7, 8 people. Greg, John, Annie Reynolds would make. I go walk for Annie.
Did they convince you to pay them?
Did
you pay them for the exercise program?
I was not that crazy. Close. I didn't do much walking either.
Hey, you remember when Mike and Tara Miller would
the awesome cow.
Oh my goodness, she has this cowhide on a PVC frame. We're in the rodeo arena in Reno, Nevada, and out traipses Tara carrying inside this PVC frame with cowhide on it. My horse loses its mind. And everybody's are. It's just like, it looked like a shark coming through the water. It was like schools of fish bouncing off the fences. Whoa. And there's Mike. He's right behind her, and there he's working her, and she's jousting this thing around. It was awesome. This is the coolest thing in the world. Once we got all the horses peeled off the side of the fence.
Oh, I loved it. It was so great.
It was the best. The best. I haven't seen Tara in forever. I so miss her coming to the horse shows. Yeah, you still see Mike now and again.
Yep.
But.
Yep. One of my greatest memories is the slow-mo video of Mike Miller flipping a horse over or something in Idaho. He's running down the fence, Mach 5, and this horse, I don't know what he did, like caught a front foot or something and fell forward and threw Mike out in front of him. But in the slow-mo, Mike Miller hits so hard that it looks like he goes underground. I mean, it is unbelievable, and just gets up and gets on and walks out. I'm like, oh my, you could hit him with a pick handle, and I don't think he'd feel it. It was unbelievable.
We have to get him on the show.
All right.
Mike, I don't know if you
Playboy Buck Fever.
Right? Yeah, I know. If you're listening, Mike.
We're coming for you.
This is invitation and a threat.
And we'll find you through Google.
We will find you. Yeah, Ben's a hacker.
I know.
Yeah, he'll pull.
That's how he got us.
Info. Right? Yeah, for sure.
He's got all kinds of stuff on us. We have to show up. So then the other dry work one maybe would be just rolling back on the fence. I used to do tons. Trying to get back to it, but would just trot or lope straight down a fence, act like there's a cow there, roll back and go the other way. Actually, maybe not even straight back down the fence. So you're going down the fence, you turn into the fence, you're right, do over a 180, kind of out to the middle of the arena, go find a fence and roll back again. That'll help you with your fence turns if you don't have cattle.
Yeah, to elaborate on that, I'll do the same thing. I might back them up a little, sometimes turn them all the way around, get out of there.
Yeah. They're trying to drag your knee down the fence as you turn. Yeah, might go on around.
If you hit your knee on the fence, you should probably try something different. But like I say, we're going to try and not make this a training segment. I mean, unless that's just what people want to hear, but I can't imagine that being the case. So
that's 2 of them. You got one more?
Hey, so here's one. And we do not have any part of the answer to this. And all I know is what you know, but we have a question about the cow horse run for $1 million, and I don't know that that's an actual thing other than what I read on Facebook the other day. And sounds awesome. Sounds really awesome. We might have to cut this out.
Well, no, we can put it in there.
We know it. Called Taylor.
It's going to happen.
It is going to happen.
It's going to happen. And The one thing that it's going to look like is it's going to be a cool event with a crowd that fills the South Point Arena.
Because it's going to be, I understand it's going to be in conjunction with the reining.
Going to be with the reining.
And that'll be the weekend before the NSHA Fraternity.
Yep. Maybe even, might be a little bit farther than that now. Yeah, they moved it for this year. They moved it. I think it's a couple weeks.
Oh,
I can't
really?
remember. Well, dude, you can't have everything all the time, even if you are Chris Dawson.
Damn it.
Hey, flights are cheap to Vegas, baby. Flights are cheap. It's easy to fly in there, see it all. I went to the Run for a Million last year. Crazy. It was crazy, the number of people.
Yeah, we watched it after the pre-work, after the pre-fraternity. Yeah, it was going on the same time as the SRCHA finals.
Oh, right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, so, yeah, that was a cool deal.
Hey, so this time, that won't be a crossover. You'll have time to be able to go watch the Run for a Million deal. See there? There's a silver lining in every cloud. So what I do know is it's going to be huge. So it was so huge last year. One thing that it's going to do for the cow horse, no matter what it looks like, no matter how they do it, it's so much exposure. When you fill, and I mean that place was full. Both sides of it was crazy. It was so crazy. Those guys were like rock stars.
Took their cell phones away.
Hilarious. So I don't know how many thousands of people that is going in there. The barns were locked down. We had to go hide in the office because the security swept everybody. So we just had to stay in the office till they said it was okay again. I was hanging out down there. They sweep everybody out. They got them all lined up all the way out into the casino from the main arena.
They said all the way to the Steak and Shake.
Yes. And not one wide, like 6 wide.
That's crazy.
It's huge. They're going to take, I guess they have these bags that they put your phone in, they lock them, and then you can't film it because they're wanting it to come out. When it comes out on the television, they don't want it to be out there.
Sure.
So they're going to take everybody's phone, not let them film it. Cool. They do a few phones, and somebody happens to say, hey, where's the key? Because you have to have a key to open the bags, get the phones back out. No key. The whole deal. They had to just get. I don't know how they got the phones out of the bags. They did, but they got them out. Had to let everyone in and then police them on the videoing. Which you know how that went, right?
Yeah, a pretty good idea. Pretty good idea there.
Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah, secrets are hard to keep in this country, especially when you got Ben hacking into your phone.
I know.
While you're listening to a podcast.
So in any event, no matter what happens, when it goes there, it's just exposure. Because, you look at what's happening with the Run for a Million. It's not the million. It's chump change compared to the amount of exposure you get when you tag a reality TV show onto the #1 cable television show, being Yellowstone.
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean,
crazy.
Thank you, Taylor Sheridan.
Thank you.
Yeah, Taylor Sheridan is a rock star.
He helped our industry.
Yeah, he came and did our invitational boxing there at Snafflebit last year.
Oh, yeah.
Had a real good showing. So, yeah, he's been getting more and more involved. So, yeah, I think he just moved here to the Weatherford area. So, I like having him part of the community.
Crazy thing about him is he's exposing a lifestyle that so many people in this world don't realize that it still exists.
All right.
They don't know we live. We don't know we exist out here. And, when you go to the millions, especially Europe and all that country, they have no idea that this is still a possibility to live like this or why you would.
Addicted to poverty.
Keeps you humble, baby.
Oh, yeah. We got Allison Walker going to join us here in a minute.
Mm-hmm. Got that going on. Got some. What have you had going on lately just around here, Chris?
Around here, shoot. Well, expecting a little one. That's probably the most exciting thing.
Loving it. Loving it.
Loving it. I'm so excited. Yeah, finally.
I see you've become a woodworker.
Huh? Right. Well.
Built the crib. At least put it together.
Assembled. I will say, people that know me were pretty impressed with my assembly skills. Yeah, my wife was anyway. So.
I'm wondering if maybe Sarah shouldn't test it like put something heavy in there. See if it doesn't fold in.
Maybe we should curl you up and set you in the crib. We could maybe Facebook Live Russell testing out my crib. This would be awesome.
Oh, hey, I had some fun yesterday.
You did?
Yeah. So we're in the arena, just riding around, doing what we do. Bill Weaver's on the big horse, Dally, that I took the world's greatest last year. So I'm wanting him to get a little more circle on this cow. Cody Puttkamer comes in the arena. He's riding a little 2-year-old, starts bucking around a little bit. Interesting. His client comes in, Megan. She's going to lunge this horse and get on it. And so Bill needs just a little bit more on this cow. And he's trying hard. He's locked on. And he runs a cow over there by Megan. And I'm thinking, it doesn't look that good. But probably that cow just go around her, right? Cody's kind of getting his horse under control, and that cow has had his belly full of humans. And he hits her dead on, lays her out, and I'm thinking, I really need to be over there. So I go to riding. She gets up, and normally they'll hit somebody and just go on, right? Not him. She gets up and starts to try to make a break. He hits her from behind, knocks her down, and camps on her. Like, just camps. He's down on one knee, holding her down with his head, just mauling her. So I'm thinking somebody needs to be there. Cody's horse is bucking again. He's of no use. Bill is just thinking, what in God's name? So he pulls out. I'm thinking I'm going to just ride over there and jump off and go help. Well, I get over and my right leg hangs in the stirrup. So I'm hung there thinking that if my horse runs off, this is going to get worse. But I feel my boot give a little, so I go on. I just go on and leave it in the stirrup hanging on the saddle. But now I've only got one boot.
You're barefooted.
Now I'm barefoot on one foot.
Trying to save this lady that has a cow on top of her.
So I hit him and kind of get him knocked off of her, and then me and him get in a fight. But at least now he's on me, so I wind up walling around with him, getting him thrown down. I just sit on him for a little while. And she gets away, and they kind of go down there, and I'm thinking, well, I'll just keep on him because he's still mad. And I'm just sitting there, and Cody warms her horse up for her, and she gets on. And then they're back by us again, and Cody gets on his horse. So everyone's on but me, so I figure it's pretty safe, I let him, I had Cody bring me my boot, so now I'm not without a boot anymore. I let him up, and we get in a fight again, and he hooks on me a little bit, but he leaves me only to run directly over and hook Cody's horse in the flank and start the whole bucking around the arena all over again. It was so beautiful. And I can see Cody thinking he's like, this horse is really doing something. And he's thinking he might be bucked off. And I see him think to himself, if I get bucked off, it's going to be me under that cow. And you talk about
Makes you ride good.
He bared down and rode out of it.
Yep.
So anyhow,
Hard ground and mad cows make you ride bucking horses.
It was awesome. It was the most fun I've had in weeks.
That's good. That's a good day in the life. Day in the life of Russell Dilday performance horses.
Well, you got to watch everything all the time, I like to say.
That's it. Don't fast forward. Don't hit pause.
No.
Just stay hooked.
Every once in a while, you have those days with Bill Weaver's a cop in Oklahoma City.
All right.
He says when the rookies have problems, hell's going on, it's what they call a negative spiral. Like one bad action leads to another. That's what it felt like. Just a negative spiral all the way down. Guys got to have those. Makes the rest of the smooth day seem good.
Special guest today from NRCHA, Allison Walker.
Thank you for having me.
The only Allison Walker, the
She's
driving
awesome.
force.
I'm telling you,
Thank you.
she's takes care of us. She's taken care of us for going on 8 years at NRCHA. Has babysitted a bunch of invalids, helping them get entered, and she's been promoted to such a stature that it's no longer her responsibility to take care of morons that are trying to get entered. She's now What is the title now?
Communications Manager.
Communications Manager.
Yes, but I still take care of everybody as best I can.
I think she's
And
vice
we love
president.
you for it.
Like vice president or something way up there. Top of the chain. Hey, I met her at San Angelo. She was handed a stall chart and said, put them all out there. And she had no idea what was going on. We let her hide in our tack room quite a bit. Close the curtain for her. Close the door. Well, we don't have curtains. We just close the door for her. And all the way to upper management just in a short 7 years.
7 years ago, I was just the rookie at that show.
I know.
They say it takes about 10 to be an overnight success, so you're well on your way.
All right.
Her and Matt Cook.
Matt Cook, exactly.
Overnight successes. Well, Allison, there is tons of good stuff going on. And we had you come in here to help tell us about all the great things that are going on. And one of the great things is the world's greatest horseman during the Celebration of Champions coming up here in a very short time.
That'd be the DT hashtags, world's greatest horseman, Russell.
You cannot miss it. Can't miss it. One of our funnest events all year. And talking about the numbers, Allison, we're holding at an unbelievable number of 50 horses.
Yes, I remember when I started, we had a hard time getting 20 entries, and now we're consistently hitting 50.
Wow. And then when you add the 17 to 20 youth riders, they're all coming. Some of them have aged out, as you said, but you're looking at about 70 head of people and horses that think they can do it. Pretty amazing.
Four events. One horse, one rider, one bridle.
One mistake.
Very impressive title.
Yes.
That is very true.
One of the funnest of all, I think.
It is. It's the best spectator sport, I think, especially from a finals standpoint. You get the top 10, best of the best, get to see all four goes in a very short period of time. It's a great spectator sport.
And also probably one of the, I feel like one of the best chances for a young guy to break out, because you're going against the best in the world, but they only have one shot at you. So all the greatest guys, and we're all in the greatest horses, but only one mistake and you can overtake them. Whereas that doesn't happen in something just like, even right there, we have the Derby that has gone way up, the Tres Osos Derby that has gone up 30, 40 head of horses in the open. Huge increase in there, but it has become a major, major event that is even tougher to win per how many horses you have to beat than the world's greatest.
Yes, that Derby on the front is a good way for us to have cattle for our World Show classes and the world's greatest. And the increase in the Derby is huge. I think it had a lot to do with moving the snaffle bit futurity here 3 years ago. It's really fed into our World Show as well.
Yeah, that Derby, I tell you, I think it's sometimes the scores will reflect that it's not as tough maybe as some of like Paso or Las Vegas, but I'm telling you what, this is a hard show to get ready for. It comes up on you fast. Nobody feels ready. I think that's nationwide, and might even be from y'all's aspect of trying to put on a show. It's like we just got done with snaffle bit. It feels like it was yesterday, and now we're going to try and get these 4-year-olds and roll them back in there again. Oh, it's something else, and it's a tough rascal, and it's just and probably our most underrated Derby that we go to.
Yeah, I think, and I could be wrong, you can tell me if I'm right or not, from a trainer's perspective, that this Derby is great to do your homework. Stakes is coming up in pretty much a month from the end of the World Show, and you bring your 4- and 5-year-olds out and kind of see what homework you have to do before you run at Vegas.
So, Allison, probably you saw a huge increase in the futurity entries last year. So are you happy with what this Derby is telling us right now, that we're going to see it throughout the year? We're going to see our Derby entries increase due to the fact that we had so many more 3-year-olds last year.
Yeah, with almost 100 more 3-year-olds in the futurity last year, we expected this Derby to be increased, and we expect to carry that increase all year long. The snaffle bit's always a great reflection for our future shows, for our future Derbies, and we do kind of pinpoint that.
Well, it sure does make you feel good that going forward, the whole industry is going to be able to grow a little bit, because more entries means more money, more people, more everything. And what do you think is the biggest contributor to that from the standpoint of the NRCHA inner workings of, and I know you said going there to Fort Worth, of course, was one of the big ones, but what else is helping grow that? And can we hope to see it continue?
You know, the board has consistently put added money back in all the purses. The past several years, they've added anywhere from $75,000 to $100,000 in added money every year. I think that's important to the owners, you know, to keep funding the purse. They make constant changes and decisions that affect performances and make a better finals, make a better event, make a better show. This year, the board has increased the number of cattle for the finals and the herd work now. That was one of the concerns that we heard last year and one of the suggestions that the board took seriously, and they're increasing the number of cattle to the finals now, and I think that will change scores and change how owners feel and trainers feel walking out of the herd in the finals. So they're always looking at ways to improve everything.
So, Allison, we're going to jump back to you just a little bit. So you showed up. How did you wind up with the stall job for the NRCHA at Stevensville?
I'm originally from Ohio and grew up a horse trainer's daughter. And long story short, I ended up working for NRCHA in Texas. I came on December 2012. And 6 weeks later, my first premier event was World Show in St. Angelo, or last year in St. Angelo. And then stakes. And honestly, before this, I'd never been on an airplane. We always drove the truck and trailer everywhere. So this country bumpkin had never been to Las Vegas or taken a flight or anything. So this was a big change.
1 minute, never been east of Tulsa. Next minute, bang, east of Tulsa.
Worldwide. Worldwide.
Exactly.
She went worldwide.
So I started doing the show approval, show results, processing the premier event paperwork, the stalls that come with that, and going to the shows and helping put those on. And over time, my role started to evolve, as most things do. My job description got bigger. I was part of the high school rodeo, getting the reined cow horse put in the high school rodeo. I've been a youth advisor the whole time. Recently taken on the communications the past year and a half, and even more recently being put as a sponsorship coordinator.
You'd been a pretty accomplished roper in high school yourself, had you not?
No, I wasn't very good. I did it, but I wasn't very good. We're going to be honest. I did high school rodeo, and I did cutting my senior year. I blew my knee out goat tying, and haven't really ridden much since.
Did you said you came from a horse training family? What did your family train?
We trained all around horses. My dad, before I was born, was big into halter horses and paints and quarters. I grew up showing the all-around trail, Western riding, the dreaded showmanship that came with that. I did the all-around, showed some paints, and even an appy at one point.
We've been there.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club.
The Appaloosa Club, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Reserve world champion steer dauber right
Nice.
here. Yeah.
Wow.
So how did you wind up applying or wind up at the NRCHA? What got you there?
My cutting horse trainer also started the Ohio Reined Cow Horse, and after I blew my knee out, I was secretarying their shows and helping them out.
And you just thought you're secretary and show in Ohio, and you thought, I'll go to the main one. Let's work there.
Might as well go to the top.
Wow.
Well,
and
we're glad you did.
Yeah.
So glad you did.
So you've seen the growth in our youth, especially. Just the most impressive thing to me is the youth world's greatest horseman. Really, when that guy announced Mars Equine, man, they are helping us everywhere.
I'm telling you.
They are helping us everywhere.
Can't do this without them.
And branding people towards our industry for years to come with the youth, which is what we need to be doing. Show them that there's a sport out there that they can do the riding and get paid for it for a long, long time. So what changes have you seen in the youth part of the NRCHA?
When I first came on, so January 2013, we did not have a prelims for our youth limited and youth bridal classes. We didn't have enough for a prelims. If there's less than 10, they go straight to the finals. And I was just looking at our numbers this year, and this is the best youth limited and youth bridal numbers we've ever had. We have over 50 in the youth limited.
Holy.
Nice. So one of my favorite ideas of all time was taking the cow horse to high school rodeo, because I kind of started up there and there was no cow horse, just the guy was there. So can you give us some idea of how much expansion that has given us as an association out in the world that we were not reaching before.
There's a whole untapped resource inside of our partnership with High School Rodeo. And again, that is sponsored by Mars Pet Care. Mars is so wonderful and supportive of our youth. And we couldn't do it without them. So our partnership with High School Rodeo has it's fed our World's Greatest Youth Horseman. Last year was the first year for our World's Greatest Youth. We had 20. This year we have 17. We've also added the High School Rodeo Challenge at the World Show, and we invited those top 20 finalists from nationals to come and compete at our World Show. We get about 50% of those kids that show up. And also a lot of our youth are being recruited regularly by colleges now. Cow horse kids are highly sought after for ranch horse teams, equestrian teams. It's really all coming together very nicely after 5 years.
So just a little bit of a comparison. So we don't have enough people to have prelims for our youth. How many entries do we have in the high school rodeo cow horse?
On a state level, I can't speak to. I know that there are tons, and Idaho and Texas and California are some of the toughest states to get out of. I have heard that they will have 40, 50, 60 kids just at their state finals. At the nationals, we have anywhere from 100 to 120.
Okay, so
That's crazy.
wrap your head around that one, Chris. So you've got you got your national finals in the cow horse. We're trying to field 10.
Right.
120, 50 at the. Tell me that's not going to make.
It's insane.
Tell me
we were
that's
there, Zane Davis and Matt Cook and I did the clinic out there the first year. And I think there was, 65, 70 maybe, something like that first year. And which I was shocked, and I was shocked at the quality. Shocked at how big that group was that was really competitive. And from what I mean, it just keeps getting better. Like I watched the webcast on it this year, and it was legit. I mean, it was as tough a bridle class as you want to be in.
Those kids are very competitive, and they're fearless. They don't stop and
Josh
think about what
Josh
could
Briggs
go
put
wrong.
it on him up there, and I mean,
He did.
Yeah.
And there's so many great stories that it helps them in their other disciplines. You know, Josh is a great example. Coley Charlesworth, Amanda Canapilli, these youth that started out in high school rodeo and found out about the cow horse through high school rodeo that I consider NRCHA kids now. They're student officers. They're regular competitors. They want to go and be horse trainers. I know Amanda and Coley specifically have told me their plans of who they want to work for and where they want to go and who they already have worked for. And I think Josh has those same aspirations. It's been really nice, the influx of kids from our partnership with High School Rodeo.
Yeah, the things that's going to bring to us, it just boggles my mind.
You know, Chris, even outside of, would you turn your phone off, please? For crying out loud, Chris.
My bad.
So, it's one of your guests here at the house of many friends. So,
I can't believe it's this quiet in
I know
here,
he's
to be
inept.
honest.
He's inept with his cell phone over there. I can't believe anybody called him. So,
With a haircut like that?
yeah, with a haircut like that. Take a guess. So,
Everybody that likes him's here.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe his mom called. Hey, so even like Allison's saying there, it's cool that we're going to get some high school kids that might even come in and participate in our industry, but also exposing all of those people to our horses, even the kids that don't come here that go on in rodeo, that they could draw from our horse flesh or draw from just our styles and stuff it's cool, and it'll help us all the way through.
No, for sure. That's what we were
As an
talking with
industry.
Matt earlier about, just some of the crossover that cow horses going on to be barrel horses or rope horses or what have you. I mean, the more we can interchange and cross over, it's just going to just keep growing us exponentially.
It's done great things for the cow horse economy, so to speak, horse sales, lessons, training. It's done wonderful things for our trainers and our business and our pedigrees.
So just I think the growth is incredible that it came this fast, Allison, but just imagining what could happen in 10 years.
Oh, yes. It'll be incredible. I'm excited this year. The high school finals are in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we will be in the indoor arena right in the center of all of it. In the past, we've been across the street or separated from the main events, and this year we will be right in the center of all the action.
You say that first year in Rock Springs, you had to be pretty dedicated to cow horse to be out there.
Yes.
In the elements, that old wind whooping across there, and them cows trying to jump out, and
Yes.
it was not for the faint of heart.
It's something that, as I like to say, that this is cow horse at the rodeo. It's not a rodeo at the cow horse. And when we are there, it is Western. The wind blows. You're outside in the elements. There is no fence practice pen. There is no Kaiser drag. You are there to get it on. And those kids really do.
I love that about the kids in the rodeo, and they're bringing that also to the cow horse because they're so young and so wild, and they're like, hey, we don't care what the ground is. We don't care what the arena is. As long as we're all in the same one, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, I think that's really good. We can perpetuate that and build that, and that our whole family kind of feeds into that anyway, you know. But like say, you get some that you just wouldn't want to keep feeding into the, well, the fence isn't perfectly straight.
Yeah.
Or what about this over here? Or,
Ground and
yeah.
the
Say,
cows
is it
are a
going to
little
cripple them?
tough.
If it's not going to cripple them, let's get it on.
Yeah. They're dealing with horses that are trying to throw them off. They're jumping off of a few just to jump on a cow. I mean, so, you know, our sport isn't so out of whack for them. And it's a natural marriage because in the beginning, the stock horse classes were with the Salinas Rodeo, all that West Coast tradition. The cow horse, which was called the stock horse then, and rodeo were all at the same time. They all started together. I mean, we belonged together since the beginning.
Yes.
We just got a little apart for a minute.
Yes. And I think a lot of people, when we introduced the cow horse to high school rodeo 6 years ago, they probably didn't understand the partnership and the relationship of the working ranch hands and cowboys and cow horse people, but they do. They marry together very well.
What about Russell's been a part of the, what was that, Tongue River? You guys did the ranch hand clinic last year?
Yes.
And
Yes.
you guys, what do you guys have planned for that this year?
We're planning to hold another clinic for ranch hands and cowboys. Tongue River Ranch is gracious enough to have us back out. TJ Roberts and his crew out there are just wonderful. We're excited to go back. We really like having clinicians that have a ranching background and can really relate to those ranch hands and cowboys, how to add certain things into their day work or things that they're doing already. And they've really taken hold of it, and I think it's an enjoyable clinic for us as well. Again, there's an untapped resource there. The values pair well with us. I think their stockmanship and how those guys read cattle are really going to have a leg up on some of our professionals.
Sure. Matt Cook really wants a chance to redeem himself at the invitational team roping. Apparently, Russell got around him last year, so his feelings were a little hurt, and he's ready for redemption.
I think I may retire champ.
We never did make you a buckle for that, did we?
I know. Wait, I know. I got to get one made and send a picture of it to Matt. Got to. So Allison was my scribe there.
That was my
For the
first
team
time
roping?
scribing.
First time ever knowing the cow horse. Oh, yeah. She was my scribe. And we had some big old stout cattle. And in talking and addressing what you're saying about their stockmanship, being able to read, cattle were tough on Allison.
They were. And
And-
Russell does not like to award new cows.
Hate it. I hate it.
They don't want me and Russell awarding the new cows.
I don't believe we awarded none. And it was a tough situation all the way through. And to watch those guys figure the cattle in the pen out, it was just absolutely, it was a thrill. It was a
Yes.
thrill to watch them.
Yes, they figured it out. We didn't let them rope at the end. We did make them circle at the end, which is something they're probably not used to in their other, cowboy associations. And everybody figured it out and did really well. Those horses, that's what they do every day. They are real cow horses, in my opinion.
We got to judge a little gray horse with Trip Townsend there. Unbelievable.
Yes.
Goes on to make the finals at the Snaffle Bit Futurity. We got to judge Kelsey.
And yes, Kelsey Thomas. There was a CD Diamond there. Trail had his futurity horse there that he
Yep.
attended the clinic on.
Yep. And then the gray horse that Trip and Trail both showed in the World's Greatest and the Youth World's Greatest was there. I mean, there was some stuff going on. Kelsey Thomas goes on and wins the ranch class at the Futurity on a different horse and then wins the World's Greatest Horsewoman. I mean, that was some fun stuff.
Fun stuff. So she won her a spot to the world's greatest, the DT hashtags world's greatest next week.
That's right.
That's wicked
Russell has
good.
to compete against her. Just a few months ago, he judged her in the cowboy class.
I know. I can't
Wicked
compete.
Well, I know Tripp has been a really good representative of the ranching community coming in. I think he won his spot last year in the world's greatest through our Southwest Ranch Cow Horse Invitational as a ranch participant.
And he
come
almost-
in and he was like right
13th.
just outside of the top 10. I mean,
Very close.
Very close.
close. His
Very
first
respectable.
premier event.
yeah.
Yes.
So that's been super, super cool to see him kind of shift gears a little. And yeah, I think Trails had a lot to do with that too. He was very interested. And so it's kind of gotten Tripp kind of tied into us a little stronger.
And then he goes and makes the finals in the Army and owns a horse with Ben Baldus that makes the finals at fraternity. I mean, the guy's everywhere.
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
Yes.
So
Wonderful family. They're wonderful.
Oh, so fun. And what about what Tongue River did? The arenas, the food, the chuck wagon. I mean, it was so wonderful. And
Oh, yes.
what were you expecting for that clinic?
I think we were going to cap it at around 45 or 50, and we ended up getting 65 just by word of mouth, by not posting it on social media or advertising
So who
it.
all was there? It was Russell and Matt and Crawford and
Robert Forst, Jordan Williams, Miles and Lanham Brown were there helping. Park Greason was there helping. Sarco Creek provided lunch and dinner for us every day. The Tongue River Ranch provided breakfast for us every day under the fly. I don't know how many dirt tracks TJ dug up for us. There were several tracks out there,
Yeah.
a main pen. We had the flag set up. We had the herd pen going. This year, I was just talking to TJ yesterday. This year, he's added another pen that hopefully we'll be able to utilize.
One-legged TJ?
Yes,
One-legged
poor
TJ.
TJ. Yes, hopefully
Little
he'll be
broken leg.
be repaired by the time the clinic rolls around.
now, was there another one? I heard that didn't they do another one
Yep.
up at Silver Spurs or something?
Yes, we had one at Silver Spurs in Encampment, Wyoming. I want to say we had 35 to 40 attend that clinic.
That was
Again,
Jeremy Knowles and Kyle Traherne and Matt Kelly. I
Yes.
believe.
Matt Cook?
I don't
Yes.
think Matt
No,
was there.
just
he
Matt,
wasn't?
just Matt Kelly.
Yeah, trainer
Yes,
at Wagon Hound.
Darren Miller was there. We had
Oh, he
4
was.
pins going and put everybody through a rotation on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we hold a mock horse show as a way to kind of get them in the pen and get those show jitters out from the start. Just put their knowledge to use right away, and it seems to go over really well.
That's awesome.
It was fun. The way we did it there at Tongue River is Allison we had the mock show, and Matt got on the end where the cows were coming in and coached them. Her and I judged it and did a full card. They came and there was a
Jordy and Robert were helping them in the pen, and then Todd was at the video replay
Yeah.
talking them through the runs at the end.
So right after they come out, they go to the video replay and get a recap of what happened.
Right.
And so then, basically it let Todd explain to them why they got whatever score they got, high or low, whichever it was. And then later they could look at the scorecard and come and ask us about the scorecard and just help them through. But man, it just broke the ice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like, that some of those guys are coming to our premier events already. There's a Silver Spurs employee that showed a couple horses in the level 1 at Snafflebit. It amazed me how quickly those guys took hold of our clinic in relationship with our professionals. They went and read their rule books that night and came back with questions the next day. They asked for copies of their judges' cards. I know I mailed out several. When I got back to the office, they asked for copies of their videos that I emailed out to them or DVDs that I mailed them because they wanted to learn. I really figured this would be a 5-year investment, and just like the high school rodeo, and I think it'll come along a lot faster than that.
It's awesome. I think that kind of lends itself to just showing like what a lot of our trainers that we've talked to on here have talked about. It. The more you can just do that job, the closer you are to being ready to be competitive. And like it's a lot of time this horse show pen's this mystic, crazy, weird thing that you have to do a certain thing. But if you can just go out there and do your job, that's probably easier than what you've been doing every day out at the ranch. You can come and be and hang with about anybody you want to hang with. So.
Yeah. There's not that probably level of intimidation that they think is really there. It's really their day work on the ranch that you're just confining to a show pen.
And it really makes people feel comfortable when they go to one of those clinics and they all get together and do it and meet each other. Then when they come to the show, they see people from the clinic and it makes them feel, hey, how are you and this and that? And they don't feel alone, So, Allison, what's huge to me is, so you've got the youth growth going on. You got the Cowboy Clinic growth going on. Now we got the fraternity clinic going on. The fraternity growth going on. And then your stalls for the Celebration Champions, you got, 200 stalls?
Almost 200 stalls from last year.
200.
Yes.
That's huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Got to be 10% growth thereabouts, huh? That's...
Yeah. Just when you think a premier event can't get any better, the NRCHA can't do anything better, the board takes it to a new level, the staff takes it to a new level. I keep thinking that we will plateau at some point, but we don't. We just keep heading up.
And so now you're adding a 5th major?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so we will have the Dom Conicelli Memorial Eastern Derby presented by Mars Equestrian. That will be in July, the end of mid-July, I guess, in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
That's a neat place. Holds a lot of people. might be able to draw some spectators there. Huh? I mean, hopefully.
Yes.
Kind of some, not people that aren't used to going to see NRCHA major event on the East Coast. I mean, east of the Mississippi, has that ever happened?
I think this is our first premier event east of the Mississippi, and again, another a huge area for us to tap into and resources there.
Oh, it's wide open out there. There's tons of horses out there.
Yes.
And they would love to get into this event. And it's awesome to name it after Dom. For anybody that wasn't there when he was put in the Hall of Fame, what a great, wonderful guy.
Yeah, heck of an ambassador of our sport.
Yeah.
And really was the major East Coast, Northeast especially, presence for our association.
Yeah.
For the last, 15, 20 years.
15, 20 years. Dom was a wonderful man, and I think it's wonderful that we get to honor him with this premier event.
So, Allison, the World's Greatest Horseman is such a big crowd draw that it's just exploding. And we have a lot of people concerned about getting tickets. So what kind of information do you have for us on ticket sales?
Well, I'll tell you, so they normally go on sale mid-January, so I encourage everybody to keep an eye online on our website mid-January. We sold out within 24 hours. We sold over 1,000 seats in 24 hours. And when was the last time a horse show was sold out, let alone a horse show sell out in 24 hours? I think that's amazing.
George Strait, eat your heart out.
Yeah.
That's right. NFR, George Strait, all of that.
Take that.
Exactly. Yes, the NRCHA sells out the World's Greatest consistently now. We released 300 standing room only tickets that are now sold, and our plan is to release another limited number of standing room only tickets the day of the event. So you will be able to purchase those tickets through the box office the day of the event. Anybody can come and watch the herd work finals. We have a full list of activities that day. We have our high school rodeo challenge. We have the intercollegiate challenge. The horse sale is going on. We have the World's Greatest Youth Horseman herd work going on, followed by the World's Greatest herd work. And then we'll pick everybody up and move them over to the Justin for the last 3 events, the rein work, the steer stopping, and the cow work. And for those that aren't able to get tickets, we're planning on having a watch party and a fan zone for them just outside the doors in the John Justin Sale Arena. There will be big screens there. You will still get to be a part of the event, and we'll still get to see it.
And there'll be refreshments, and there'll be tons of interaction.
Yes.
And plus, you can go see all the other things all day long.
Russell said he was going to buy beer for everybody in the watch party.
Right
This
on.
was nice of him. Wow.
Very nice of him. I'll be buying with Chris's credit card.
I was saying you can ask Chris for his credit card after this.
And so just so everybody understands the reason they can see everyone can see the herd work is because it's held in the historical Will Rogers Coliseum where the cutting is. So you guys everyone can come and watch that.
Open seating, general admission, first come, first serve in the Coliseum. Come and watch and be a part of it.
Yep. Perfect. And then we'll have tons of shopping.
Shopping. So much shopping at this show. Yes.
Yeah. This is a place where you can go get a shot at the real bridles, the real reins, the real tons of saddles to look at, go through all the blankets, the hackamores, all the tack and gear that we quest for.
You can
it
dream
seems
it.
like we never have enough.
Never have enough.
There's one
Addicted.
more bridle out there we need.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If I had that one.
Lots of stallions are going to be there. You can go shopping and plan your breeding program, trailers, anything that you need. We have at the facility.
I love the stallion deal. I love going and seeing them stallions there. That is awesome. And it's on that day. And go walk through all the trailers, the living quarters, the stock trailers, everything. Yep. So good
And
times.
don't forget, you're going to see all your world champions for the year for every class, from the open bridle to the open hackamore to the non-pro limited and the youth. Every class you can dream of. Best in the world. Been going all year for a world title.
Yeah, so you're gonna we're gonna crown world champions at this show, and then Friday night, February 21st, we're gonna crown our national champions as well at our year-end banquet. We have a world's greatest reception. We have a world's greatest youth jacket ceremony, rider introductions, the red carpet, the works.
So
Alpaca show.
An alpaca show. Yes, we have an alpaca show, a gun show.
Gun show. That kind of goes hand in hand,
Yeah,
right there.
this is family-filled activities right
Yes.
here.
Something you can bond on.
Right?
And so on the, say on the World's Greatest Draw Party and the awards banquet, need to get tickets on that?
No,
Food with
the DT and hashtags World's Greatest Reception is open to the public. I don't have a schedule in front of me. I believe that's Sunday. They will get their commemorative back numbers and jackets. There will be a cash bar and some finger foods. It's always well attended to support the owners and riders. And then...
Is there going to be a smash cake this year?
I don't know if there's going to be a cake or not. I did not plan the party this year. That's going to have to be a surprise.
There was a smash cake last year.
I do remember the cake last year vaguely. I don't remember the smashing part. That must have happened after we left.
Yeah, he has something to do with it, I'm sure. I can just tell.
Darren, might have to ask Darren more about that.
Oh.
Might have got a little on his face.
Oh, dang it. Why do you pick on the short guys?
Can't reach the tall one.
Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with it.
We have our year-end banquet. One of the things that we're doing this year is hopefully to benefit everybody is we've drastically reduced the ticket price of the year-end banquet, so hopefully everybody will be able to attend. Again, we'll crown our national champions, our world's greatest youth horsemen presented by Mars Equestrian. They will get their jackets. We will have some special awards. The affiliate of the year and a runner-up affiliate of the year are crowned as well.
And what comes with the ticket? There's
food.
Yeah, that's
Of
right.
course.
Dinner.
Maybe cake.
And
I'm not sure.
smash
And a
cake.
smash cake. He kind of gets hooked on something and he stays with
He
it.
does.
You know
I
what
feel
mean?
like Sarah's going to have to bake a cake here before too long.
He's already half
She's
baked.
baking one already.
Yeah.
We should
know.
probably give a shout out to the other girls in the office who she's able to get away from now by being communications manager.
Suckers.
Kelly and Emily and Barb
Enjoy.
and Joy.
Yes, there's 5 ladies in the office, and we have a new office.
New office. Yeah, that's
Really?
right. That's exciting.
Yes, we have a new office. We moved almost a half mile down the road. We're still in Pilot Point, which we love being there. We have a beautiful new office. It's a headquarters the membership should be proud of. The building we were in previously was nice, and it served its purpose, but this really feels like a headquarters, and we welcome anyone to stop by. This city has been very supportive of us. They would like to have a ribbon-cutting ceremony. We're going to finish decorating, and it's a beautiful office that we're really proud of.
I've seen the pictures of it, and it is beautiful to look at from the outside. It is pretty.
Yes.
Very, very pretty. Glass front. I mean, high end.
Yeah. We're a team. We're a highly efficient team, and we have a lot of fun as well. And they're a wonderful group of ladies to work with. They all do a wonderful job.
Well, you guys have kept us in line and straightened the whole organization out in such a manner that, like I say, it's facilitated all this growth as much as the ranch hand and the youth and everything else. I mean, just the efficiency that the association's being run with, and we just can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate everybody, and one of the things that Kelly and I always work hard on is to make sure that the exhibitors, owners, riders know how much we appreciate them. When people come in the office, they say, thanks for being here, thanks for putting on a great show. If it wasn't for the people's hobby in the horse industry, we wouldn't have a job. And we always want to make sure that everybody knows how much we appreciate our owners, our sponsors, our riders, that when they do come in the office, they thank us. You know, we're always big on, no, thank you for coming, thank you for entering, thank you for having horses. We do. We all make our living off people's hobbies, and that could go away very quick. And I think appreciation in all aspects of the sport are important.
Darn right.
Excellent.
Darn right. Well, we will can't wait to see you in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll be there. I'm headed there next.
I know. And a happy birthday when you're there.
Thank you.
Huh?
Yes.
Happy 22nd.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that. I'll take it. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate
You
it.
bet.
Thank you for listening to Cowhorse Full Contact. Please like our Facebook page and follow us on Instagram to stay tuned for future episodes.